Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I hope everybody had a great Monday. I know Mondays are that one day that everybody can't stand. But I hope everybody had a great time. We had a great Monday. Busy with work here at the house all day, but then we ended it with a nice double date with one of my really good friends and her boyfriend, so it was very nice. But we haven't hung out in a while, so there was lots and lots of reminiscing and, hey, Chris, there was lots of reminiscing and things of that nature. Hey, Jules. So definitely thinking about back in the day. And that's what made me think of this topic that I wanted to talk to you guys about today, which is the back burner. Hey, Deborah. Because we were talking about like in the past and our past marriages and things like that. So that was back in the day when I always had myself on the back burner. And so I figured that would be a great topic for us to talk about today. So for me, like, this is how you know when you have yourself on the back burner, is you do for yourself last. You'll put other people's needs before yours. That's also a good person. That's a good, kind-hearted person. So it's really hard. It's kind of like, sometimes with the whole back burner stuff, it's like that mixed emotion because you want to be a good person. You want to be there for others. You want to give them the shirt off your back, as the saying goes. But we need to take care of ourselves too. That's super important also. So it's kind of like that catch-22. You have to find that right balance with taking care of you and taking care of others. My hair's driving me crazy this morning. It's like sticking up. I feel like I have it's making me tall. My hair doesn't want me to be short today. So it's like, a question you need to ask yourself is, do you do for yourself last? Do you put others before you? And do for everyone else first? And something that needs to be reminded, and I have to remind myself this all the time. It is not selfish to do for you. And that's something I had a hard time with because, like I was just telling you, you have that thoughts in your mind of, like, I want to do for me, but I don't want to look selfish. I don't want to look self-absorbed. I don't want to look like it's all about me, and you want to do for other people too, right? If you're on here with me and you feel the same, comment, give me some thumbs up, give me some hearts. But if you know what I'm talking about, like it's that fine line with feeling selfish and doing for other people. So for me, I had to remind myself, and I got a lot of that reminding from my personal development books. And, they were always saying how it is not selfish at all to do for yourself. If anything, it's selfless. Because when you do for you and you do things that make you happy, then in turn, you're an extremely happy person. And then when you're happy, that trickles down and it's like a ripple effect to everyone that's in your life. It affects them. Just like if you're sad or if you're upset or anything like that, it's going to affect those people in that way. Hey, Debbie. So if you are sad, it's going to affect them in a negative way. If you are happy and feeling great, it's going to affect them in a positive way. So if you really think about it, you're being a good person by taking care of you because of that reason. Because of the fact that that happiness is going to trickle down. That sense of accomplishment, that sense of fulfillment is going to trickle down into the rest of your day and to everyone else in your life. Excuse me. So why not do things for you? Why put yourself on a back burner? Because if you're anything like me, being on that back burner is going to make you resentful. Good to the last drop. And everybody always asks me why my shakes are green. I actually add some extra greens into my shake but they're in powder form. So they've been dried out and powdered down. I don't take like a clump of kale because I feel that nowadays our ground isn't like it used to be, so we're not really getting the nutrients that we needed to get. So I put some extra power greens in my shake just to make sure I get those extra greens. So to answer that question, because I know I've gotten that question a few times, what do you put in your shakes that's green? Which is funny because I used to never be able to drink anything that was green in color. So I want you to remember, back to what we were talking about, is I want you to remember that it is not okay to be last. It is not okay to put yourself in last position. It is not okay for someone else to put you in last position. You are special. You are important. And you need to be number one in your life. You need to put yourself first. Good morning, Mom. I didn't need your reminder this morning. I remembered. That's because I put a reminder in my phone. This notification drives me nuts. So you've got to remember that it is so important to not put yourself in the back. And whenever I say back burner, I legit picture a stove with the 4 burners and being on the back. And sometimes the back burners are the biggest ones on the stove, but I can picture being on the back. And I don't want to be on the back. I used to be on the back. I don't like the way it feels on the back. Hey, Rebecca, I want to be on the front. So, like for me, I always had the dream and aspiration of being home like I am now all day and working from home, or just being home with my family, being home with my kids. Now, granted, they're older when I finally did it, so they're not home during the day with me. But that's okay, because when they're gone, I really dial in and focus on my accountability groups and my clients that I talk to throughout the day, helping them with fitness and helping them with nutrition and helping them with their wellness of life. And I can focus on that without them being here. And then I'm done with the main part of my stuff by the time they get home. If anything, later on, I just kind of check into my messages to answer any questions I may have, that anybody may have. But for the most part, I'm done. Sorry, I'm fixing my bracelets. So for the most part, I'm done. So I love that I am here when the kids come home. I love that I'm able to welcome them and say hi and ask how their day was, if they have any homework and if they have any help on their homework, which high school, middle school, I'm not much help with some subjects, especially math. But, I'm here. And that's always been a dream and an aspiration of mine. And to think that if I put me on the back burner any longer, I wouldn't be living that dream. And that's sad to think of, that if I would have just kept putting myself off and just kept telling myself that, it'll never happen, because that's what I'm going to tell myself a lot, I wouldn't be doing it. I wouldn't be doing it right now. Hi, Mary. How are you? So, if you have dreams, if you have aspirations, if you have things in your life that you just want, go get it. Because by not going after it, not at least trying, you're putting yourself on the back burner. Hey, Matt, you're putting yourself on the back burner. And that's no place to be. Being on the back burner is not going to get you anywhere, except in a resentment state, in a negative mindset, and a not happy place. And nobody wants to be there. No one wants to always feel unhappy, miserable, and attacking everyone because they are so unhappy. I don't know anyone that wants to be in a place like that. No one. So I wanted to give you, hey, Karina, I wanted to give you a little tough love. And this is coming from a very loving place. But I have to tell you, enough is enough. Get off that butt and go after your dreams and aspirations. Get off that butt and stop putting yourself last. If going to get your nails done is something that makes you feel like you're putting yourself first, well, Pick up the phone and make an appointment. Go get your nails done. Do something to make yourself feel good, no matter what it is. But stop putting you last. Take care of you first, just like they say on the plane. If the oxygen masks come down, what do they tell you to do? Put on your oxygen mask before helping anybody next to you, even if the person next to you is your kid. Because what happens if you're putting on their oxygen mask and you don't have yours on and you pass out? You're going to be no help to them if that plane goes down, will you? So stop putting you last. You need to be your top priority. You need to have yourself on that little pedestal and be very careful, because there's that fine line between putting yourself on that tiny pedestal so you make yourself important, or putting yourself up on that pedestal to where you're narcissistic, self-absorbed, and you don't care about anybody else. Don't go there. I'm not telling you to be narcissistic. Nobody likes somebody that's narcissistic. Trust me. Nobody does. But what people love and what people respect is somebody that respects and loves themselves enough to put themselves in an important spot in their own life. Now, does that mean I'm always doing for me first? Absolutely not. I do still put a lot of people first in certain situations, but I have a balance. I put other people first, I take care of other people, but I also take care of myself. Like this morning, I sat down with my shake that you just saw me finishing and my Kindle, and I read. That's putting me first. Before I went live, I read. Because this is important. They say all the time that the first 2 hours of your day is where your mind is the sharpest and you're going to get the most out of what you do. So, I read. I get up. I do my affirmations. I do a couple things around the house. I check in with my messages because I'll have like some of my clients that'll message me and I want to get them their answers before they start their day. Then I sit down and I read my book. I got to feed that mind because it can get crazy up in here sometimes. Okay? So you need to do things for you first. And that was me doing for me before doing something else for somebody else. Okay? So you have to make sure, and that it's just little things. I have a tickle in my throat. That's just little things that I do, but it's something that I do for me. Doing this puts me first. Because this is something that can easily be done, but easily cannot be done also. So I could easily be like, oh, I'll just read later. Let me go do this for this person, for Susie Q. But then now I've put aside something that's going to help me. This is important. My mental health is important. My mind strength is important. And I need you all to feel that way too. I want you all to feel important. And the way to do that is to do it yourself. Take the action yourself. Stop waiting for someone else to make you feel important and do it for you. So my call to action to you today, because it's about time that I go wake my son up for school, but my call to action for you today is to pick one thing. It doesn't have to be a big thing, but pick one thing that you can do for you that's going to make you feel important. Don't wait for someone else to do it. If getting flowers makes you feel important, buy yourself some flowers. Show yourself some love. Whatever that may be, I want you to do one thing today that makes you feel important. And I would love to hear what you're going to do. So comment below what that one thing is that you're going to do for yourself today. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.